Now you know a little bit about the structure of DNA, and you know how it can replicate itself to make copies, so when cells divide, each of the new cells can have the full genetic code in DNA. But the thing is about DNA is it's kind of really important, and so the DNA always stays in the nucleus. You don't want to risk it going outside the nucleus. So how do you make proteins in the rest of the cell if the DNA is always in the nucleus? And that's where RNA comes in. Messenger RNA will leave the nucleus, and it is copied from DNA. It's only a single strand, and that will be what ends up coding for proteins that we learn about later. So DNA stays very secure in the nucleus, and RNA is what leaves the cell. And they have some slight differences in their structure, and so we're going to look at those right now. Both have essentially the main ingredients to it. They all have a sugar phosphate backbone. Only the sugar in RNA is ribose, while the sugar in DNA is deoxyribose. And that's how they get their names. So those sugars and phosphates alternate along and make a backbone. You'll notice that DNA is a double helix, and RNA is a single strand. Both have nitrogen bases that go across the center. DNA has cytosine and guanine that pair up, and adenine and thymine that pair up. RNA likewise has cytosine and guanine that pair up, and it has adenine, but instead of thymine it has uracil that pairs up, so it's slightly different. They both have covalent bonds along the strands. We talked about those strong covalent bonds so the strands don't break. And they both will form hydrogen bonds in the center, DNA holding together all the time, and RNA when it's either being transcribed from DNA or it's translating and making proteins. So in summary, both have a sugar phosphate backbone, deoxyribose versus ribose. Both contain the nitrogen bases adenine, cytosine, and guanine. DNA has thymine, RNA has uracil. DNA is a double helix shape, RNA is a single strand. DNA can replicate itself, and RNA is synthesized from DNA. So there's the main difference. They are both nucleic acids, and they are both very important for our cells.